I'll tell you exactly what I think. And believe me, I'm as confused as anybody else about this team. And I wouldn't be shocked. Honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if they lost out or if they won out. I think they're gonna win this division and have a home playoff game, maybe against the Bills. Because of the schedule, it's not just the one-game lead. It's the Ravens face Joe Burrow, Drake May, and Jordan Love before they come back here.
Mm-hmm.
And the Steelers have games against the Dolphins and Browns, sandwiched with a trip to Detroit. Nothing easy there, I know. But it's the schedule, for one, and then it's the tiebreakers. And if they finish tied, and let's assume the Ravens would win here to forge a tie, if we're talking tiebreakers, it would go head-to-head even. It would go division, presumably even. And the third tiebreaker would be conference, and the Steelers are 2 games ahead of the Ravens in the conference standings. That's how they would likely win a tiebreaker. And that Ravens-Bills game from the first week of the season, the game that continues to haunt the Ravens, I believe, emotionally, is gonna maybe do them in the end. But here's what I think, Bob. This is my honest thought today. I'm looking you in the eyes and being as honest as possible. And you're a very forgiving and compassionate man as you look over here. I know you're going to accept whatever I say lovingly, aren't you?
I am. Your opinion is your opinion. It values to me.
I think that the Steelers can compete in this weakened, watered-down AFC. Now, please, am I predicting that they'll win a playoff game? No. I've been consistent about that all year through the ups and downs. I think they're headed to the same spot. However, in a conference where Kansas City and Baltimore are fading fast and almost cooked, and where New England, Denver, and Jacksonville are the top 3 seeds, I actually think the Steelers can compete in that little circle. Call me crazy, I do. If some of what we saw yesterday is real, and I don't know if it is, Bob. Do they have a real quarterback? Do they have an actual downfield passing game? And are their stars on defense, their playmakers is maybe a better word, going to be healthy? Because that's not always the case, but T.J. Watt, Hayward, and Highsmith are healthy right now. They can actually compete in this little circle of teams in the AFC. I honestly believe that. Your take.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen worse situations as far as conference mediocrity, and I think that's where we are. Go back to the freak show of the Pirates of 1997, I think, where they had no business competing for any of that, but because everything else was down, they took advantage of it. I think, like you, that they can get in and win at least one playoff game. In fact, I said so at the beginning. I thought if everything went right, and that includes Rodgers. And again, I think going into this last 4 games, he's the quarterback who seems to be most inspired and most productive of all the quarterbacks I've seen. Joe Burrow is back, yes, but he made a dumb throw yesterday, got picked off for a pick 6 to your Bills. I think Aaron Rodgers, who would have thought at this juncture of the season, he'd come off 284 yards passing, just a tremendous effort on his part. I didn't see it lasting this long. They are up and down. They have to figure out more consistency on their offense. But yesterday, and I think all the talk, all the narrative about not throwing down the field was heard inside that locker room and inside that coaching room.
Yeah.
And they wanted to stop that, but also take advantage of what they thought was an opportunity down the field, and boy, did they. That first throw by Rodgers was great. I can see them doing both. I could see them, and that's such a wishy-washy, I guess, approach, but I think that's where we are.